Hey guys, what's up? Today is going to be a very short stream. I'll be not working on the tile master today. Instead, I'll be trying to make this pattern. Let's just copy this once more. I'm gonna quickly start a new scene. Save this, and let's go to the world settings. And hopefully, you guys can hear me. Do let me know if you guys can't. I'll try to fix it. So let's quickly add a HDRI. I'm doing some stuff. Let's HDRIs and let's add something called graffiti shelter. Yeah, for now this should do. So I'm gonna add a new material and let's do a vector math node, and let's also add a mapping node and connect the UV. And let's quickly look at the pattern. We have this like double leafy type stuff. So first let's try to build that. And I'm gonna delete this, add a plane for now. The top view, give it the same material. And the simple way to do this is using a length node. You can get a gradient, like a moon gradient, or else let's not use vector math. Let's try to use the inbuilt nodes for now. Let's add a gradient texture. Let's connect it there. Let's use vector math. Let's change the linear to spherical, and we need to center this. So let's subtract 0.5, and let's scale this by 2. Sorry. So now we have that. Let's look at the factor, is the same thing. So this also needs a greater than node. So let's use a factor. Now we can control how big each of these are, but we need 2 of them. You can see we have this shape, which technically we can do using 2 different gradient nodes. So let's duplicate it twice. Let's use a greater than here again. And now let's try to move these 2 using a vector math node. Let's move it by 0.5, not 0.5, like let's move this here in that direction, and let's do the same but with subtract so that it will move in the other direction. Let's add these 2 together, and you have the shape, just that. And now we have this. What I'm thinking is we can just simply use a multiply, and that will technically give us this. We can do another add node here, but let's change this to subtract for now. Let's use a multiply node. Multiply. So you're getting that, or else we can use a minimum or maximum. Okay. So let's take this, let's multiply that again. So you got this. We're almost there, I think. You see that? So only this is enough, I think. But multiply. Look at that. Now I can simply raise this up just slightly. Yeah. And we can move them in. And we can clamp it. So we made this pattern, which is definitely useful. Now we need to tile them. The way I'm going to do that is basically creating that, but I wanna quickly take the UV coordinates and gonna use a vector math multiply node or divide node is fine too. It's almost like 1:2 ratio, so 0.1 and 0.2, I guess. And then I can do a fraction to get like the tiling, which is like this. So 0.2 and 0.1. So now we have the tiles. So now what if we plug this directly into here? This will have a stretched version of that. Look at that. Yeah, it is very stretched. It's fine. So the way I'm going to tackle this is after this, I'm going to divide, take the divide, multiply it by the same values. Except we would need to like increase the direction of it. So let's add, place it exactly at the center. About that. So now we have this, which is perfect. Then we have this line, and let's try to recreate that line. The way I'm going to do that is take the divide node. Let's use a separate XYZ. Let's use a ping pong. Let's see if this lines up properly. If not, we have to get another way to do this. So the way I'm going to do that is instead of ping pong, let's use compare node, I think. Yeah. Compare, not compare, sorry. Let's do the ping pong and then a compare. We need these lines to be lined up properly. So when I do a compare, it kind of has to, let's see. That, yeah. Let's take this multiply. Let's add a maximum and do this. Perfect. It lines up perfectly. So let's do 0.25 for now. Not 0.5, 1 maybe. It's not 1. Okay. I think it's 0.25. And have to multiply this by 4 or else divide by 0.5. Not sure why that is happening. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, now these things line up properly. The next thing that I want to do is just try to get the straight lines. So the straight lines, I think I'm gonna do it pretty quickly using the y coordinate. Let's take a math node. Let's do ping pong again, and let's do ping pong of value of 1, but let's use a multiply node in front. Let's do a value of 5, and let's use another compare node to compare the values of 0. Let's do a compare. Where is the compare? There has to be a better way. So I'm gonna compare it with the value of 0, but also I'm gonna, so not only this, we also need a width. For that we have our existing ping pong, but let's duplicate this and let's use 0.5 here so that it's only alternative. Like so when you do this, so it's only alternating, it's just selecting alternatively, which is exactly what we need. And let's increase the width here to, since it's 0.7 there, let's use 0.14. Like, yeah, this is fine. 0.7 is fine along this direction. Let's see, let's use a multiply node so that we'll only get the intersection of both of them, which is perfect. So it kind of looks like we have to place it somewhere there, so that, yeah. Now let's use another maximum node. It's probably in the right place. So yeah, quickly we got this pattern. This is awesome. What can we do with this pattern is what I'm looking for. A friend of mine sent this and I quickly wanted to try out something. This is pretty cool. Hi Pavan. I think I'm already done with the pattern. This is sort of like a live creation of how to do this pattern. It's not exactly a tutorial, but then I think I can possibly make this into a tutorial real quick. So this is me just playing around. I'm just trying to create this pattern and looks like we succeeded it. Let's quickly try to do something. There's probably a easier way to do this, but I think this is probably the simplest way I can think of at the moment. Look at that. And then we'll multiply this to get this. What I would generally do is try to add them. Instead of greater than, I would probably try to use a subtract node. Trying something and use a minimum instead, or maximum. Yeah. And then a minimum to basically get the shape. So now we have that and we have this. Instead of compare, what I would do is I would use a subtract node again. But this time I have to keep it to a low value of 0.2. Let's divide the whole thing by 0.5. Let's subtract it from a value of 1.2 and divide it by 1.2 again. Technically, instead of doing all this, we can simply use a map range. Let's use a map range. And the input value is the highest value is at 0.25, so all I have to do is just 0.25. And now all I have to do is just play with this value. Use that as a maximum here. To get, sorry, what? Yeah, of course, I have to do this. What about 1 and 0? Okay, that's kind of weird. So now we have this, but let's just multiply this by 4. Now choose 0 and 1 to 1 and 0. Oh no, I see it. Okay. So this would generally work. I think the only way to do this is using subtract node. Yeah. Let's do this much. Let's divide this by the same amount. Let's plug this in the second direction. There it is. Let's do 0.3, and I can divide this by 0.3. Yeah. So now we have that, which is perfect. So let's delete this. Let's not clamp anything again. So now we need to find this value. The way we're going to do that is again very simple. Instead of subtract, we're going to use the same setup which we did here. Shift D that. Let's plug it to the second one. Instead of multiply, let's use minimum. And let's duplicate this again and plug this to the second socket. This one to the third socket. So now let's see if this works. And now let's do a maximum there. There it is. This is good because now it's a gradient. So I'm basically trying to use this pattern on clothing, maybe. The next pack that I'm trying to make is actually a clothing pattern, so that'll be useful there. I just simply wanted to see if we can create this patterns. You guys can send me patterns on Instagram as well if you want me to create them. And hopefully those are geometric patterns and not really like the complicated patterns as if like, you know, like spirals and stuff, because those could be a little complicated, but this one seemed to be easy, so I wanted to do that. So I generally don't use the textures that comes from, you know, this, but pretty far it looks good, and I think I'm gonna stop it there for today. Yep, really happy with it. It was a live. I just wanted to do this live because I just wanted to see how quickly I can make it. Around 20 minutes to make it with a gradient is pretty good. So yeah, so that's it for now, guys. I just wanted to see how if I can do live videos quickly, but tomorrow or the day after I'll probably maybe later today I might do another stream late in the night. I'm not sure, or else tomorrow early I might do another stream. In the meantime, I could probably let's call this fabric pattern, and I want to quickly show what I've done in the recent times. So I made this new pattern, and I've been trying out different materials on it, and I'm very excited to show you guys what I made now. Let's use this one instead. So this is pretty cool already, but we have this. Look at that. This is my favorite so far. There's this material which I'll be adding, and I made sure, like, you know, this works with, you know, this one as well, like a mix RGB, so you can basically choose the colors and, you know, choose the number of patterns you want there. And finally I also have another material, which is this, I guess. Yeah, the basic one. Right now it uses a picture that I found online, but I think that's all right. So this is the pattern that I found, and this is the material I made, and I personally think it looks pretty close. Maybe not, but yeah. Is a slate material editor or something? I'm not able to understand what you're saying, Pawan, but I would love to know what it is again. Uh, Pardon me. But yeah, like at the moment, I'm just trying different things. There is this. So right now it is using different colors, but it's not really hard to make it work with a single color. Like if I just remove this, it still looks pretty good. Like you can choose any color, and you can give it three different variations like this. And let's see how it looks with higher scale as well. So let's do 20, and let's bring down the roughness, like the layers a little bit. It looks random enough, definitely. But yeah, so that is one material I've done. I'm really excited to show the next material, which is probably my favorite, and I struggled a lot with this one particular material. Let's see this one. Not this, not this of course, but I quickly wanted to show you guys. I added three different materials. One is pavement herringbone, pavement brick, and chevron. So let's copy them. Let's add a new material now instead. Gonna make this. Let's call this test material. Let's paste these patterns here, and let's use a texture coordinate node. I'm gonna plug UVs into them. Now look at this in all its glory. This material took me so long to make, and for a good reason, because this has some really funky controls. Let me show what it can do. So of course, the first thing that I always wanted was to give it a tile length. So you can increase the tile length, and it'll do that. And then we have teeth. Now I can make it smoother by increasing this value, and I can blend it from here till here. This is some really funky control. Um, oh yeah, this is actually shader editor. Yeah, that makes sense. And there is this new function for rounding the corners. And my favorite is this curve smoothing. We can actually smooth this curve to this, which is awesome. So this is the teeth blend. And then we have motor width, of course, and then we have the bevel strength. We also have cell vector for every cell. So in case if you want to add any image texture, you can plug it here, I guess. Let me try to find a nice pattern that we can tile. I have a tileable wood map, and there you go. It just works. Not only that, we can also add the random color to this like we always do. And we can plug this to the principal shader right there. I think I'm plugging the alpha, which is wrong. Yeah. Now we can use a bump node. Let's use that there and plug it here. And of course, let's stick this the value there. Like you can see, it's not lining up properly, so I'm just gonna quickly rotate this using vector rotate node by 90 degrees. Now it's properly aligning. So yeah, this is a pretty funky material that I made, which I'm very, very happy with. There's also this, and yeah, I'm really happy with this one. All this will be in the new pack. I'm really looking forward to see how to do this. So yeah, like this pattern is pretty complicated with the math, but it's not bad, I feel. The next one is chevron pattern. Always wanted to have this as well. We have the control. We can increase the pattern width along this direction. We can also change the pattern angle from left to right. And of course, like rounding, we have the bevels and also bevel profile. So these are the two patterns that I made yesterday. And we have a herringbone one, but also we have a normal one as well. So we also have the random color, which is really helpful to give some good details. So these are the new materials that have been added. Let's give it a quick mix color. Let's use the random color there and change this to soft light. Immediately we have randomness in color as well. And of course the roughness has to be really low and specular value to be a little higher maybe. But yeah, let's also use a map range. And plug this right to the roughness. And I'm going to decrease this slightly. Anyway, this is just like everything else that I've been doing. Really happy with these two patterns. Wanted to show you guys really quickly. Let's get back to the other tiles, and I'm gonna complete this today. Let's see which tiles is it. Is it the test tiles? Yeah. So there are several materials that I did, and all these things will be like into node groups, so you guys will have several controls to play with. Anyway, I think that's it for the stream. I wanted to stream for 30 minutes and wanted to do this quickly. And in this particular stream, we made this pattern. You can check back to that, which is this, which I found from a friend of mine. Let's try to. But yeah, that's it. You guys have fun. I'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya.